Hello everyone, happy afternoon. My name is Dudezord and I work on awesome game dev projects here on Twitch. And today we're working on this game right here, an RTS game that we're making in Unreal Engine 5. It's called Standalone. Here's the Steam link in case you guys want to wishlist the game. During the morning stream, we added a button to the game where essentially it allows us to toggle like the type of auto selection mode. So like when a unit dies, what will be like the next guard for a given base. So we added the button that will support either selecting like the entity which has the lowest health or the one which has the highest health. So it's this little button right here down the center where I'm clicking right now. And visually nothing really happens unless we have like some guards here and someone tries to attack us and we have like stuff there happening. In any case, the code is working, but now we need to make sure that any rollback networking issue, any sync issue that might happen in the future kind of gets like properly fixed automatically. The way to do that is to go through the ECS snapshot code, which is this ECS snapshot manager file that we have right here. And we essentially need to add a way for this snapshot manager to know if that list of settings changed, because essentially we need to know what is the state of this for every single player. It's not only ourselves. So we need to know this for everyone. And yeah, that's essentially the plan of what needs to happen here. So I usually don't come here to touch on anything. But I mean, I kind of feel like I need to do it now. So let me first get a look around this snapshot manager so I can have like a better idea of the types of methods that we have here. Diff campfire. I don't know what this does. I don't know if that's used for anything. But we have like pointers to systems, the pointers to storages. We have the ability to compute hashes for different parts of the code that is running. Although these here to say that are based on the live state, which is probably what I want to do. Well, essentially we added something to the fortress system. Okay, we added. Let me see if I can find it. We added this. Hello, American. Welcome to the stream. So we added this hash map here, which maps between a team ID to an enum, eGuard selection enum, and essentially we need to know whenever this changes, because if something wrong happens with the network, we need to be able to roll back to every single person to make sure that all of those calculations are using like the proper data and whatnot. So these currently, I added these to this fortress system right here. So I guess that I would need to do the same thing here for the compute fortress hash, maybe? I don't know. Do we think this would be a good plan or something? Maybe. Okay. In any case, this is the hash that is going on right now. So I would say that the first thing that I will need to do is I would need to call in the fortress system, and I would need to get the maybe I can do the like this const auto reference. guard selections. Yeah, this is going to be fortress system, and then I should have, oops, fortress system. Oh my god, fortress system. Then I should have guard, auto guard selection, or guard auto selection. Something like this. Okay, so this currently is private, so I probably want to pass this somewhere else, like probably like something here, public. Okay, so we have the guard auto selections here, and then so these will have the ID of the teams inside, but I don't know in which order things are inserted on this map. I don't know how does the map actually returns me this data. So I kind of want to have like sorted keys for this. So for the guard selections, I wonder if I can get the keys here. So this is going to be an, oh, this is an out thing. Okay. So I'll need a T array. T array of int32 is going to be team IDs. Then I call this. I should have this. Then I should be able to call team IDs.sort. This is in sorting in place. Okay. And then what I need to do is I need to go over each team ID, over team IDs. Good job. And const auto. That's data. I'm going to put S for selection. And then I do guard selections with a team ID. Okay. And then I do this. Then I do this. And this essentially converts the value of the enum to that thing right there. Okay. Now, is this the only thing that I need to do? So these are for the current things that are running. But I think there's like a separate one for a snapshot, from snapshot. Yeah, which is this one. So now in this code right here, I kind of need to do the same thing, you know? So instead of going through the system, I'll need to go through the snapshot, which is going to be this. I'll need to go through the snapshot, which is this. But this means that this FECS state snapshot needs to hold a copy of this map here, and currently it does not. So I would say that I need to create a EU property. It's going to be a tmap int32, and here I can probably pass a guard selection, and then I call guard auto selections. Okay, pretty sensible so far. So now I would say that the only thing that I need to do is pass on where do I write this from and where do I read this from, you know? So currently I have these fortress entity IDs, and where is this stuff being calculated from? fortress storage.entity_IDs equals that. Snapshot, restore snapshot. I usually don't touch on this part of the code, so this is a little bit complicated. I did already ask Mr. ChatGPT to make sure that I don't make any mistakes, so I kind of have an idea of what I need to do. So here on the fortress system, I have this resource from snapshot here. So here I would need to say that the fortress, no, the guard auto selection is going to be equals to snap.guard auto selections here. Okay, I can probably put it here. Okay, and then I'll need to probably call this serialize here as well. And then that out dot something. Build snapshot data. Out dot guard equals fortress system guard. Okay. Okay, I think I kind of want to move that fortress data to be near the fortress country ownership. Might make a little bit more sense, maybe. Something like this here. Okay. Okay, so this part here, we are already doing it. Yeah, we'll need to serialize these here. Serialize snapshot for file. Serialize tmap s dot guard auto selections. Okay, this is an in32 and then this is a eGuard selection. I'm kind of scared. I don't like touching this part of the code. This is scary for sure. Okay, so this is reading from the snapshot into the data. This is reading from the snapshot into a file. This is reading from the data into the snapshot. I mean, we probably have it. We probably have it. And then we also have this part right here. Actually, I have one question. I'll leave it as this. Okay, let's see if this compiles. It's still building. Still building. Build, build, build. Okay, there are also some deprecation issues here, which I'll be want to solve another commit here. Okay, so apparently this kind of worked, or at least it compiled, which is already a good first step, I would say. Let me read the code again. So I added these guard auto selections here, and then I'm calculating this hash based on this, so I would say that this seems sensible enough, and I'm writing it there. Incremented this replay version, and yeah, I mean, it kind of feels sensible. Okay, maybe I should just quickly try to play a small local multiplayer game across two windows and see what the hell happens. Preparing shaders. Client is synced. Good job. Okay, so apparently this is working. If I click this button, it is like being properly in sync. If I spawn like a bunch of these, it is like properly working. Okay, if I go with lowest health and I try to kill this guy here. One more. Okay, it replaced with one of those guys there. Pretty cool. And if I now go with highest health and I still try to kill the same guy. One more. It selected that guy. Okay, and it's still synced. Okay, so I would say that most certainly this is working. So I'll ask Mr. ChatGPT to do a recheck. Okay, I made the changes. Please recheck. Let's see what it has to say now. But hopefully this is going to be the end of this task. Hopefully. Oh, this is actually like floating. Oh. Oh, we also have like grease to fix. We haven't fixed grease yet. It still has like lowercase names and all. Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Malta. I'm just trying to see if there's another one with that issue of non-lowercasing its name. Ireland, Wales, Scotland, Denmark, Czech Republic. Yeah, I mean, all of these kind of look okay. Norway, Iceland, Greenland, Sami. Yeah, I don't see any lowercase usernames anymore. So I would say that most certainly that is proper. I also don't know if there's like an actual proper way of checking this. Probably an LLM could like parse the file, like this L-Europe NWP file, and let me know. Okay, it's still doing its thing. But yeah, we'll need to fix this grease right here. Which should just be grease lowercase, uppercase. But I will want to double check this first. Much better. Replay are correct. The wire main regards acquisition path now respect. The hashes omit team ID. They only hash the selection value. Oh. Whoops. Whoops. That would make a lot of sense. That would make a lot of sense. Okay, so it's team ID and then it is that. Compute Fortress hash, team ID. Compute Fortress hash form snapshot. This. Okay, so hash is the team ID and hash is the number. Thank you, Mr. GPT. After rejoining, the ECS restores the selection mode. Does GPT always tells you could optimize this or that? Yeah, it is very opinionated. Yeah, he talks out of his ass essentially a bunch of times. Yeah, but it's saying that I should be able to update this. Well, I don't think it matters that much. I don't think it matters that much. Okay, I think this task here is done. I think this task here is done. Okay, and I know that I'll need to like show the UIS HUD. I will need to take like a screenshot of this. Oh, can I window? Good job. Okay, so now I can commit this. So the UI button to switch which unit becomes the guard. Okay, I don't think I'm forgetting anything else. These I don't need now. These I don't need now. This is default level that I don't need now. Okay, and push. Okay, now I want to do a cool test. Now I want to do a cool test. So I'm gonna open a new chat here and ask it on what's the actual level? Hold on. L Europe and WP. On L Europe and WP. Greece is the only country spelled with camel case. Every other country is all caps. Is apparently all caps. Can you parse the file and let me know if there are others that every country should be all caps. Can you parse? I'll follow me know if there are others that need to be manually edited. Okay, let's see if this is smart enough. So this needs to be able to open the .uasset file, which I don't know its format either. Like if I type here L Europe nwp.umap, like I don't know which format this thing here is. Like it's binary, you know, so it's like weird binary stuff. So I actually don't know if it will be able to parse all of this, but we'll figure it out. Maybe it's smart enough to do so. I'm certainly not, so we'll see. The main map is 124 megabyte binary UMAP. Let's see. Oh. Get command strings exe. So it actually like tries to parse stuff. Greece. Bosnia. Parsed all 78 country regional labels. Only Greece needs editing to Greece. Good job. See? Good job. Thank you, Mr. Whatever. Okay, so this is like a tiny fix. Okay, so I'm gonna put this into a separate commit called Greece to Greece. Such a shitty commit message name. Okay, what more can we do? Because these guys here are like floating as crazy. So I wonder if like something happened when they exported these guys right here. Because I would argue that I would argue 258. Yeah, like these things are levitating. Like these guys here are at 123 in terms of height, and these guys are at 258. I don't want to touch that, but should be fine. Okay, I'm gonna push this, and I'm gonna say that I took an additional 30 minutes. Good job. And now we can go on standalone GitHub repo. Switch guard buttons. Yep. And I can do a thing like this. Oh. Oh, rectangle, yeah. I'm gonna put it like so. Okay, as an image. Okay, and create a pull request. Good job. Good job. We did it. We freaking did it. Okay, let me message the big boss man saying that I worked on this. This is gonna be the, what's it called? UI button. Also change. Okay, good job. I'm gonna put this one as testing. So now they can go and actually like validate if this thing is working. Good job as all, we did it. Okay, so now we can start working on, okay, I need to close Unreal, thank you. And now we need to start working on the new task, which is the box selection like preview, which is this one right here, which is so we are able to box select, which is kind of what I do here with taking screenshots. So I can box select on the map to select like the different entities and whatnot, and I should display like a preview selection ring around each unit that will be inside the actual selection whenever I release the button. So that's the plan. That's the plan. Okay, so I'm already there. Okay, I created the new branch. So let's just quickly compile Unreal, and then we get to start working on the task. It's compiling. I'm anxiously awaiting for my new computer mouse to arrive, because this guy is on its last breath. I'm gonna miss this. We had this mouse for around 10 years now. It's a Rival 650. Rival 650 computer mouse, Steel Series. Yeah. I had this mouse for 10 years already. It even has like custom weights and all. It's a pretty awesome mouse, and but I mean, it's literally falling apart. Let me see if I can show you. So okay, let me just put the big screen here so I can make sure. So this light here doesn't work anymore. Like this button here is like all flappy from all of the clicking. You can see like the one on the right click doesn't has like any leeway to it, but this guy like has none of it. The mouse wheel sometimes like stops working. The middle click doesn't work anymore. If I bump the mouse like a little bit of force, it essentially resets. You can hear like the hardware unplug and plug in. So yeah, it's not an ideal mouse anymore. But yeah, what doesn't work on the side? And no, it mostly. So what doesn't work is just the mouse wheel. So the mouse wheel like sometimes it like skips. or starts like rotating the wrong way. Like the window starts scrolling the wrong way. And the mouse click doesn't work. The middle mouse click doesn't work anymore. And that's what I use to open and close like tabs and stuff. So I can close these with a middle mouse click anymore. And even the scrolling, like I'm rotating the wheel like very fast, and it doesn't go, like sometimes it skips and like rotates up. It's weird. Oh, and it also has like another issue. And because it's like very old, the like these panels here where I'm supposed to like put my fingers on, like the glue is melting, so this thing like doesn't glue anymore. And usually like throughout the day, like this thing like just moves around like crazy, like on both sides. You can see like the glue blob in there, like very disgusting. So yeah, I bought the cheapest one I could find that offered everything that I needed, essentially. And it's like a 15-year-old mouse. Yeah, because I mean, if I had a job, I wouldn't care about spending money, so I'll probably buy another 100-euro mouse, $100 mouse. But I mean, I'm kind of in contention mode right now. Not that I don't have the money, but I'd rather not spend money on weird stuff right now. So today, like throughout the day, like there's one feature in this game which is the ability to move the mouse, to move the map whenever you are clicking on the middle mouse button and like dragging the map around. It doesn't work on this game. Like this game is impossible to play right now. Like I cannot move this around anymore, you see? Like I should be able to put the mouse here, click with the middle mouse click and like drag. It doesn't go. So I need to resort to use like the arrow keys, which is like super weird. Okay, in any case, let me quickly show you what I need to work on now. So currently, if I am hovering over one of the units, I'm not clicking, I'm just hovering. You can see that it already shows like the selection circle to the unit that it's gonna select underneath. So that's pretty cool. And I need to do something for the box selection. That's the task. I think it's gonna be like fairly simple. I think it's gonna be fairly simple. See, like I usually also close like this stuff with middle mouse click. It doesn't work anymore. So I need to go right click, close, right click, close, right click, close. It's not ideal. Not ideal. But it's on the way. It arrives today, so it should arrive today. Okay, on selection system. On selection system, I should have a end selection method, which should call the entities in the rectangle. But this is only whenever I actually release the mouse, I think. So let me see. So end selection should be called on start selection. HUD. Execute end selection. Yeah, I actually don't know where that preview is even happening. Because this is the start unit selection, so this is whenever the mouse is already mouse down. And the other way, like the regular way. I'm just moving the cursor around. So I don't really know. I mean, it should be calling like show selection for entity. Hello, Dosito. Good afternoon. Have you started saving up for the new fully working Lego pinball build? No, but I did buy something. I did buy this weekend. I lost my mind and I did buy a what's it called? What's that platform called where you can give them money for them to try to Kickstarter? I did back up this project. I did back them up with $100, which should grant me a small pinball table, hopefully. Sorry for the super loud sound. But it's like it's a fairly small table, but it's all you can like move pieces around and stuff, can like customize it. And it's like dinosaur themed. Yeah, it has like 2 game modes. Sorry, be right back. It's fine. I continue the link after. Okay, I'm gonna paste the URL here. Yeah, I did back these guys up. It's like $100 or something. $110. I mean, it's a pretty fancy pinball table. I don't know if it's gonna be like one of the most fun ones or whatnot, but the cool thing about it is that it comes completely disassembled. So you actually need to build the table yourself, which is gonna be like really cool. And yeah, it takes like 6 hours to assemble, 319 pieces. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Like, it's a fairly small table. It's like 24 centimeters by 38. So it's like one hand by 2 hands. It's fairly tiny, but YOLO. I was considering buying an old pinball table machine and like starting like renovating it. But I feel like you bought that? Yeah. I didn't buy it. I pledged. I can still cancel the pledge, by the way. But I did pledge to buy one for $100. Yes. I mean, it does look pretty cool, honestly. And it looks like fairly well built, and I did look into this company, and they do a ton of like mechanical models and whatnot. So they have like pretty fancy stuff, like even a mechanical typewriter, and like it's working stuff. So they do like pretty awesome projects. So I'll see. Got a quick visit, so I had to take that. But this pinball looks really cool. Would be a step for getting full size in the future. So as I was saying, have you do it before? Yeah, I did purchase Cyanide and Happiness. These are like a cartoon, guys. One of the games that they had. Creators. Let me see if I have it here. Well, I'm not logged in, so I cannot show it exactly my pledge, but I think I can show their projects. Yeah, I did purchase this. Trial by Trolley. Which is really fun. It's like a trolley, a murder trolley is coming around, and you need to decide if you need to kill people on the upper lane or lower lane. And it's like 3 teams. One is the conductor, one team is the conductor, the other team plays the top lane, the other team plays the bottom lane. And you place cards to try to convince the conductor team to not kill your lane, like to spare your lane and to kill the enemy lane. So yeah, I did pledge for this. I do have this project, and it's very, very fun to play. And I did pledge like the most expensive part, so I have like 3D stuff, like these 3D elements and whatnot. This was like a long time ago. I don't even remember. 2019, yeah. But sorry, Ducito. As I was saying, I would love to own a real size pinball table. I would love to own one. Problem number one, they are not very... There's really not a market for them here in Portugal. Meaning that I cannot possibly find one. I would need to source one from somewhere else. I've looked into it. There's like a big pinball community in Spain and in Italy and in Germany. I could consider driving there with a truck and bringing a pinball table from there, but I mean, it's gonna be like crazy expensive. At the same time, I don't have a work now, so I do have the money, but I don't want to like spend the money weirdly, you know, on a random project. So right now, I would say that I would love to, but I don't have the ways to do it right now. So I thought that maybe I could start like building my own physical table. Again, I've looked into it. I've done my research. I've read on Reddit experiences from other people. And I mean, it's fairly easy, double quotes, to build your own table, but the issue is, how do you build a fun table, you know? Because you kind of need to design a table. You kind of need to behave like a game designer, you know? Like the table needs to have like progression, needs to have like missions, quests. It needs to have like a theme that makes sense for that table. And I'm none of that. I know my way around electronics, I know my way around electricity, around hardware. I'm not afraid of doing that stuff, but I'm not a game designer. Like I wouldn't be able to like make a proper fun table with like a theme. We'll probably have to steal an existing layout to be sure. Correct. But then at the same time, I mean, at the same time, I wouldn't want to be like copying something, you know? That would be kind of... So, I don't know. So I kind of postponed that idea as well. So the third idea that I had, which is probably what I will end up doing, is building like a virtual pinball table. So it's a regular pinball table, but has like a 4K screen on here. And there's this software here called Visual Pinball, which already like tries to replicate physical games, but virtually. So I'm gonna show you 3D Space Cadet, and this already like offers support to work on like screens and hardware buttons and stuff like that. So yeah, I would say that currently I think I'm mostly going towards building one of these virtual cabinets, because then it's like an arcade machine. I can just put on an emulator and have like dozens of tables that I can easily play. It's still going to be expensive because I need a 4K screen, like a large, like 43-inch 4K TV. It probably needs to have like 120 hertz. I will need like the wood cabinet somehow. I'll need to source it from somewhere. That's also expensive as hell. I will need a computer to run 4K 120 hertz as well, which is going to be expensive. So all in all, I think that this would cost still around $2,500 to build one of these, which is the most inexpensive out of the three, but it's still expensive for what I'm comfortable spending now. So yeah, so I decided on just getting that $100 one. But this is for like, this is a real full-sized cabinet, you know. Like I could go with a 1080 screen, like a smaller one, making like a tabletop pinball cabinet thing, like a fairly smaller one like this, something like this would also work. I don't know. I don't know. Can't you design it on Visual Pinball first? Probably. I don't know if I wanted to, though. I mean, that will be another software that I'll need to learn. I don't know. If you do that, look for a way to make the machine also support MAME on the backdrop or the monitor itself, so I can play like random games here on this one, on this screen. Yeah. Then I could have like a plugin, like arcade buttons to put here or something. Have you tried Digital One IRL? I have not. Again, there are no actual pinball tables in Portugal. So I'm 35 years old. Across my entire life, I've seen 3 pinball tables in Portugal in 35 years. It's just not common here. It's just not common. I haven't ever played the virtual one either, but from what people say, because you are supposed to put like the screen with a slight inclination as well, and then Visual Pinball already places the camera with the proper perspective as if you were like playing from like an angle. If you are playing from the player's perspective at the correct height, it kind of does feel like it's like the actual pinball. The only thing that might feel kind of odd is like the ball is flat, but it's only that. Like even the pinball elements, the graphic elements, they do feel like they pop out of the screen somehow. But the ball always appears to be like completely flat, but I don't know. I don't know. Let me open this image. See, like this is like a virtual one, but if you are looking from this kind of looks like the real deal, you know? If you are looking from this angle, which is pretty cool. And the visual pinball software, it's like an open source software, and they try to actually replicate like the physics of everything. So they go into great detail to make sure that the flippers behave as the flippers in real life. They have like the same activation, speed, and strength and whatnot. Yeah, but I'm mostly going towards these, I would say. I mean, this should be like fairly easy double coats to do. I mean, it's just buy the hardware and install the software kind of deal. I think that the wooden cabinet would be like the most difficult part, but there are even like wooden like kits that you can purchase. Obviously, like some are like very expensive, but you probably have more inexpensive ones. I don't know. But yeah, I would say that mostly the issue is there's nothing in Portugal, so I'm kind of screwed. I will need to get this like from somewhere else, I guess. I don't know. I need to be rich again. That's my issue. I need to be rich again. Yeah. I mean, whenever I was working with filler, I couldn't spend my entire salary. I mean, I wasn't living a rich life, way of life, obviously. But I could buy whenever, and it wouldn't make any dent. What's he up to nowadays? We don't talk, so I don't know. I have no clue. We ended on pretty bad terms. Okay, let me just do something here on the secondary screen for my beautiful wife. Okay, now I need to wait for her reply. But yeah, essentially we finish on very bad terms, so we don't talk with one another anymore. So I have no idea. I have no idea. Okay, let me see, where can I find this goddamn thing? Okay, found it. Okay, we can now focus on this again. So we need to work on the box selection thing. I don't know where that code is currently living on. I would say that there should be a call for show selection whenever I'm moving the mouse over something. But this is only for already selected. So it's not this, it's not this. It's not this. Update selection effects. Entity ID. Selected entities ID. Get selected. Okay, it's kind of odd. Okay, I think I'll need to put in a breakpoint and I'll need to go and investigate. And I think I'll go and investigate. Okay, let me just take a quick snapshot to show the Wi-Fi. Okay, never mind. I'll put this text. Let me check something. Okay. The RTS people are sending me messages. Hold on. I need to reply. Okay, so we have this thing right here. I'll need to figure out how the hell does this hovering thing work. I think that it should call like this show selection for entity somehow. So let's check. It doesn't. The hell? Well, we didn't have a... Oh. No, it doesn't enter there. I mean, this is a Niagara thing, isn't it? Okay, so if I go on selection circles and I change from Niagara to simple. Yeah, now it shows the simple. Okay, so there's like a draw ring. I think it's a ring 2D, ring 3D, draw selection rings 3D. Okay, I'm hella confused. Draw selection ring for entity. Okay. Draw hover ring. Draw hover ring. Okay, do I have a draw hover something? Draw hover ring. Okay, so where else am I doing this? Set selection circle render settings. Current selection. Show selection effects for current selection. The fuck? Okay, hold on, let me think. So this is calculating the ring regularly. And then calls draw debug line. Set hover ring. Oh, okay, so maybe this is what I need to do. Okay, and if I do this, okay. I'm getting the grasp of it. So I have this method here, which is called from the player controller, which is just trying to set the hover target. Gotcha. So here it calls this selection system set hover. Okay, then here I have this hover entity. And on update hover ring visual, it should be like called automatically or something. On a update selection effects. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So I would say that this set hover ring, instead of taking a single entity, it's gonna need to give me an array of entities. So this is gonna be an array of entities. And this is going to be dot clear or dot reset or dot. What the effect do I empty? Dot empty? Empty. Draw a hover ring. If is empty. An already selected entity as a solid ring, don't stack a hover ring on it. Draw selected. This is gonna call this once per each one. Okay, so I think that here I can do a simple or in32 hover blah 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 blah. Good job. I'll put this here. I'll put this inside. And here I'll put a continue. Yeah. Yeah. There's gonna be a T array. Entity IDs. Okay, let's try to build and see what issue we get. Because obviously there's like some compilation issue. Where's the build? Okay, build succeeded. So, this actually worked? Nah. And impossible. Okay, so this should work with this. Okay, and here on the hover target. Okay, now I get to do the same change here. Entity IDs. Entity IDs, entity IDs, entity IDs dot empty. There's gonna be a T array of this. And hover target is gonna take a T array of, whoa, of this as well. Okay, save, compile, building. Okay, and most certainly if I pass this, selection ring system. Oh, so this only shows one at a time. Oof. Yeah, that's not fun. That's no bueno. That's no bueno. So I need to have like some sort of set that tells me which ones are currently visible, which ones aren't. I'll need to create a Niagara system for each one. Yeah. Acquire component. Try to reuse a pulled one. Okay, let's see. So ring with for int hover entity ID in hover entity IDs. Good job. And then I'll need to scroll all of these down here. And I'll need to tab this once side. Indent it, that is. What more? I mean, this other entity is never none. hide hover ring. Yeah, here I'll need to pass in the entity ID for that one, for sure. Last rendered over ID. int32 entity ID. Hover. I mean, this is the last entity, the hover. The render is to force a one-off sim reset when the target changes, so per target parameters don't lag a frame. No, bro. Okay, so I'll need to have this guy here. Last rendered hover IDs. Okay, is selected. Okay, let's see. So here I empty the last rendered over IDs. I mean, hold on. Okay, let's compile and see what issues we get. Yeah, well, I'd actually say that this hide hover will probably mean that I would remove the entity ID from there. And this on this guy here, I pass this and hover selection. Oof. Yeah, so this only has one selection, bruh. This is not fun. This is not fun. Okay, let's see. Hide hover, and hide hover removes it from the last rendered. Okay. And then here I do a add. Target changed. Contains. If not contains. Force a sim reset when we switch to a different target. So radius color apply at spawn. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's see. So essentially the plan is this. So I'm gonna call set hover target on the hover entity IDs. those over entity IDs is gonna be like depending selections, like the things under the mouse cursor or inside the box. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna start there. Okay, so where is this guy? Resolve click hover on selection system. The fuck? Hold on. Hit result. I am confused. I'm confused. Okay, so let's see. Update hover selection ring. So we have an update, we have a clear. Okay. First things first, where is this clear called from? Never. Right, because it doesn't have this name, it's this one. So it's always inside there. Over rings. Okay, so a set of rings just stores the array. For the current click. The hover target is a single shared field. The hover target is a single shared field on the ECS selection system, so only the human actually driving the cursor may touch it. This local player controller is not sufficient on its own. In the local practice modes, the opponent bot control derives from AMOE player controller, and unlike a spawn actor PC in a networked game, also report is local player controller true and stand alone. So they reach here, their mouseless cursor trace fails, and clear hover selection ring. Wipe the hover target the human just set. Whoever ticks last wins. Okay. I mean, maybe we can... I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Suppress, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so currently this hit result here is whatever is currently under the mouse cursor. The issue is that the selection system, which we have access here, might be doing or might be going on a might be currently selecting something. That's what I'm trying to say. So this sets is selection to false. Begin selection, start selection. Okay, so I can technically listen for his selecting. So no, so I have the selection start as well. Okay. Is this actually public? No. Can I see if there's like a method that returns this? Like return is selecting or something? Yeah, because here I do is selecting equals true. So this is kind of what I want. And then I want to be reading from a selection end. So I think I'll need to have like a... I think I'll need to have a... Need to have a getter for this. Because this is all private. Hover targets. Hover rings. Selected, toggle selection, add to selection. Okay, I think I'm gonna need to have his selecting, which is just gonna return his selecting. Can be made static? What do you mean? Oh. Return B is selecting. Okay, can be made const. Sure. And then I wonder if there's a start selection somewhere. Selection start. Out start. Oh, okay, so there's this get selection rectangle. Okay. So this should already help with something. This should help with something. Where the hell is that code? It's this. Okay, so let's see. I'll be able to call T-array of int32. These are gonna be multiple entity IDs. Then I'll be able to call his selecting. Okay, so if it is selecting, we grab the rectangle selection. Grab the ongoing rectangle selection. Else, we do the exact same thing we have. That we have right now. So I'll do a int32 this, out that. And then I do other entity IDs, add other entity ID. Okay. This is for this part right here. Else, I'll need to have, I guess, two F vectors to D. Start, selection, and selection. I'm gonna need to call the selection system and call get selection rectangle. I pass these guys here. My end selection is actually gonna be this guy right here. Is actually gonna be this guy right here. Yep. And then here I call something in rectangle, get entities under control in rectangle. And first I pass my team ID, then I pass my start selection and selection. Oh, but these are the units, campfires, fortresses. Okay, I can probably call this resolve rectangle hover. Resolve rectangle hover. Resolve rectangle hover. Okay, it's going to be a tier array. An empty. Rectangle over, tier array, int32 reference, our IDs. And then here I'm gonna have a start selection and an end selection. Start selection, end selection. Okay, this is gonna be start, 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 and end. Okay, so let's see. If I have fortresses, I select all of the fortresses. And then here I grab fortress 0. And then here it is. And then here is all of the entities. Entity 0. I spend more time just renaming for singular to plural than actually writing code, which is funny. Okay. Okay, now we can go back. So we should have this usage here of resolve rectangle hover, which should pass in the team ID, over entity IDs, hover entity team ID. I'm kind of confused now. Do I actually need this? I mean, these ones should already be quantized, I guess. Surely. Okay, good job. Um, so let me see. Okay, so this is on update hover selection rings. Okay, this gets called on tick. So this gets called every frame. Okay, so here inside, I'll need to check what are the new selections, what are the old selections, and update. Remove the ones that are not there anymore, add the new ones, and update the other ones. So I think it's kind of similar to what I've already done with the rally point arrows, I guess. That's what makes some sense. But it's essentially just caching a bunch of data and comparing it. Comparing it every frame. Okay, so this gets called all the time. Okay, so this is clear all of them. It's gonna be clear, 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 clear all of them. But then I think I kind of want to have a I know how to do this. I think I kind of want to like draw and hide one at a time. I mean, like this clear here should be clear hover selection ring for this entity ID, you know, and not for all of them. And then here I should be hover. Okay, hold on. What the hell does clear do? Okay, it calls clear hover targets or clear hover rings. If they are selected. It's only called here. So for each entity that I'm currently hovering, if I'm already selected, then I shouldn't render this guy. Okay, but if I only pass one here, entity ID, and then here I should call just clear that one. Entity ID. Begin and clear selection, resolve, So I want to clear for a single one. And here I want to say over entities dot remove entity ID. Okay. It's kind of the same thing here. Entity ID. I implement this function, and this is just hover remove entity. Okay, GG. GG. Okay, so everything is properly done until here. So if that entity is selectable, I just clear it. I just clear it. I mean, this will be doing like a ton of stuff. Should be only once, I guess. Should be this. So this calls the clear automatically. So I can get rid of these guys here and this guy here. Can also make it one line. So you shouldn't use Niagara, we clear it. If we should use Niagara, we clear the other one. Okay, so here we set the hover targets, and this is just writing them to hover entities. Okay, so these are the current ones that we are gonna render next frame. Okay. So far so good. And then I'll need to have the last rendered ones on both variants. On both variants. Last IDs. Okay, gotcha. So now I can go here and see where the hell does this thing actually get used. So I have clear that just empties all of them. But then I'll have the update hover rings visual. Okay, where does this come from? Okay, it's probably still in singular mode. I'm getting tired already. So hot in here, although it's cloudy. That I don't get the energy to stream an entire day anymore. And over rings. Over rings, visual. Hello. Come on. Why can't I write here? The fuck? I'd have a ring. Oh. I see. Hide hover selection. Okay, we'll get there. Hold on. Hello, Navarex Games. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. How are you? Today we are working on the Unreal Engine RTS game again. And I'm trying to implement a selection preview for box selection. So whenever I select like entities with like this box here, it should show like some rings on them. So I know what my selection result is gonna be. Date ring. Rings. Okay, so let's see. So this thing actually gets called whenever. Use Niagara selection effects. I'd hover rings. Okay, so this was like a global one. Okay, so there's like a global one and then an individual one. I see. Okay, and here I'm gonna call empty. And then here I call hide over selection. And hover selections maybe. Yeah. Entity hover component reset. I mean, probably I can call like clear all selections. Oh no, because this is for the hover. Ooh, this is for the hover. Hold on, I lower selections. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna leave it like this, but I'll need to change that later. I'm good, thanks for asking. Working on my own level editor as an in-house tool for development. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's what I enjoy working the most. I enjoy working on tool development. I don't know if you have seen my pinball game yet. So currently I'm working on this Unreal game, but I also have a pinball game that I'm working myself solo in Godot. And I do enjoy working on the pinball game, don't get me wrong, but what I actually enjoy working most is on the tools to make the game. So like as an example, so I have like this preview view that I added as an editor plugin to Godot, which shows me like the names of the elements that I have on the table with like their IDs and all. And it paints them in different color depending on some arbitrary stuff. Like this is pretty cool. And then I also implemented a heat map thing for my game, so I can show like where I can see like where the ball goes, travels the most and whatnot. You know, so I have like a better idea if the table is balanced and that kind of stuff. So this is pretty cool. And then I also worked on adding like plenty of telemetry to the game. So every playthrough that anyone will do in that game, I'm getting a copy of all the events that happen in game. Come on. So I can see like how many playthroughs do people do like per day and whatnot, and I can see like the logs of, okay, this player at 11:42 the ball hit the pop bumper group top, which if I open the Godot thing, pop bumper group top is this guy. It's like is this group. So I know where the ball hit it at that point. I know how many points that hit awarded the player. I know when the player loses a ball, how long that ball was alive for, how many points that ball scored in total. And then I'm also attaching the heat map for their playthrough. And then essentially I can navigate like all of this data like one by one and see, like run statistics on these, you know, and see where people have more trouble with the game, and where do they usually drop the ball, like what's the last path that the ball does before falling into the void and stuff. It's pretty cool stuff. It's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, this is what I enjoy working the most, more than the game itself. But this is for tomorrow. Today is Unreal. Today is Unreal Engine. Yeah, so we already have support for a single entity selection. Sorry, a single entity hovering, meaning that if you are hovering the mouse over one entity, it already shows like a ring. But that it's fairly simple because now you only have like one Niagara system to manage, and you just like move it around. But if you now need to support multiple of them, we need to cache all of this data. We need to diff this data every frame to know what new stuff gets added in, what stuff gets removed, and what stuff moved around in the world. And we need to cache this data. We need to cache the particles. We need to cache all of this nonsense. So that's what I'm trying to fix now, and trying to figure out, yeah, how to have it working. This week I started to learn verse just to jump into UE6. Yeah, we had a conversation here earlier today, and the vibe that we got was, I don't think not many people appreciate the verse move. I feel like if anything, they are just forcing game developers to only learn Unreal Engine and not allow them to go and use other engines, because you are learning a language that only Unreal will use, you know. Because so far Unreal is like blueprints, sure, but it's mostly C++. C++ you can learn whatever, you know, and you can use it for a bunch of stuff. In Unreal, in Unity, you have C#. C# you can use for a bunch of stuff besides Unity, so that's good. Godot has their own scripting language, but it's a fairly simple language to learn. It's kind of like Python, but you can also code in C# in Godot. So, And the fact that Unreal is pushing a new language altogether, yeah, I think they are just trying to block people into their it's not economy that I want to say, but they are trying to lock people into their ecosystem. Yeah. So that's the first thing that I don't enjoy about Verse. I've never tried to use Verse, by the way, but I've seen code snippets and it looks freaking horrible. But besides that, our game, so this one, our game, the game that I'm working on today, which has like the video playing and whatnot, we applied to an Epic Mega Grant. Okay, so Epic has this program that runs twice a year where you can submit your project. You can tell where your project is unique, what are you trying to implement that other projects are not doing, what do you need the money for, blah blah blah. Every single project that is not UEFN, Unreal Engine Fortnite, every single project that is not Unreal Engine Fortnite, every single project that doesn't use Verse was rejected. So yeah, they are trying to lock people into their ecosystem, which sucks, honestly. Because I don't agree with the move of getting rid of blueprints. I don't agree with the move of forcing a new language onto people. I don't agree with the fact, well, here it's their choice, right? Because Fortnite is what's making them money, and if they are giving money to the community, they get to decide who gets the money and in which terms. But the fact that they open a context for anyone, it doesn't even need to be Unreal Engine. That's the thing. It can be whatever engine you are working on. In the past, they gave grants to people working on other games. But no, this time around, for the first time ever, only Fortnite games got the money. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked yet with the rest of the team that is working on this. But if I were to guess, I mean, UE6 is only gonna be released like by the end of 27. I would say that we probably will have this game released by then. But if we aren't, I also don't imagine us like going into UE6 or porting or using Verse or whatever. I don't know. It's sad, essentially. I cannot figure out why Verse is a good choice for Epic. I really can't. Mainly, like in the age of AI development, where people also use LLMs for everything, the LLMs don't know how to use Verse. There is not enough Verse code in the world for LLMs to learn from and provide good like help, you know. So I really don't know. If I were to guess, I think it's gonna bite them in the ass. Probably won't because they are like multi-billionaires. But yeah. And for context, I didn't only use Unreal for making games. I worked in a professional environment where I used like Unreal to make 3D virtual sets for television broadcasts, for like Discovery Channel, CNN, NFL games, Champion Leagues games, Eurovision. So I have plenty of experience with Unreal outside of games. And just thinking of the collaboration needed between coders and designers, I don't see where not having blueprints is going to be like ideal, because people that don't know how to code, they need to be able to like look into boxes and move boxes around just to prototype very quickly. And if you are required to use Verse to prototype, then you can prototype shit because Verse is horrible, as you've said. Like it's It's very difficult to... I don't know if it's very difficult to learn. This is not what I want to mean, but I would say it's not easy, you know? It's not easy to prototype. It's almost as if it were Rust. Rust is not a prototyping language. And Verse, at the very least, reads kind of like Rust. But I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully it won't ever impact me. But I'm still allowed to be pissed. Even if it doesn't impact me directly. Well, it kind of did, didn't it? Because if they had granted us an epic mega grant, then I would probably be able to move into this full time. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, I don't know if this is gonna be called anywhere. It's still gonna be called there. Okay, so this update rings visuals. This thing gets called up on each update selection effects. If the guy is selected, I hide it. If not, I show it. Okay. Well, the first thing that I want to do here, so this is the selection. Target changed. Okay, do I ever get the dot empty here? Only there. Okay, let me think a little bit about this. So I need to know which things are new, which things are old, and which things got removed. The things that got removed are here. Hide hover ring here. And then I hide the hover selection for that guy directly. So these guys are the removed ones. These are the new entity. Okay, this is a show hover selection. But I would say that this guy needs to have like the entity of it inside. Because if it's a new entity, I can just like pull it from somewhere. If it's not a new entity, I can reuse the same. Insert to entity ID. Okay, let's see. So I have this force restart. Acquire component. Oh, can probably pass an entity ID as well to acquire. Oh no, because his acquire is this. So I have a component pool. Okay, hold on. Let me think about this. Okay, because the thing here is that I'm gonna have multiple over components. I'm gonna have multiple hover components. And I'm gonna have one hover component per each entity ID. So I'm going to call it entity to hover component. Hide hover selections. Clear all selections. Okay, and here I can also call reserve 100. Show selection for entity. It's gonna call this and then entity component add. Okay, and I passed the entity ID. So I need to do this guy right here. Entity to hover component map. Remove. Oh, but this is acquire, and acquire is only gonna add it to component pools. I see. And then here I do add entity ID ring component. Okay, do I have a hide for entity? Okay, it's this one. So entity to hover component map. I release and then remove. Okay. I wonder if this already works. I mean, at the very least, it should be working for like the regular Niagara stuff. Maybe not for the rings 2D. Okay, it's compiling, still no errors. Error. Show over selection. Okay, I need the over entity ID. Let's try it now. Okay. I have a package arriving today, but kinda late and the guy hasn't said anything yet, which is odd. It should be here by now. Yeah, it says it's up for delivery. Still up for delivery. Okay. Let's see how fast we can crash Unreal Engine. Play. Okay, so the hovering is working for only one of them. I also don't want this, so it's fine. So I go settings, interface, simple Niagara. Buck. Oh, it's adding stuff. It's never removing. Oh no. Well, sad. Okay, let me stop and start again. Okay, so it's only adding stuff, not ever clearing, which is odd. Which is odd for sure. Thank you for the follow, BE4J. I don't know if there's like another way to pronounce it, but here's your confetti. Thank you very much, and welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm currently working on Unreal Engine 5 RTS game. So yeah, let me know if you have questions. We have we have a Steam page that you can wish to list the game, or if you want to look at more videos of it and more development notes. But currently I'm trying to like fix this box selection preview so that when I do this, if I would like to box select here, it would show like this guy here in red before me actually selecting. And if I'm not hovering anything, it should just stop showing these circles here. So something is odd somewhere. So are you a game developer as well? Let me know. Okay, let me see what the hell this is all about. So, update hover rings visual. Gets called every time. These clear hover targets. These are not getting called ever. Are they? They are. They're getting called here. Okay. On clear hover selection rings, which are getting called here. Okay. I saw it, thanks. It's lagging now a little bit. Is that because of DevRun in UE? Yeah, it usually lags. Well, because now I've been playing in a new editor window, and this is a 4K screen. So it almost renders two 4K games at once. If I open on a selected viewport, it goes a little bit better. Maybe want to go in this direction of game dev. Just testing a little bit with Godot. Yeah, I have one game in Unreal, one game in Unity, and one game in Godot. So I've been trying all of the different engines for different projects. So it's been fun. Yeah, if you have like any specific questions about Unreal or any of the other engines, if I know the answer, I'll reply. If I don't, I'll say that I don't know the answer. Okay, so why the hell is this? Does this even enter here? Okay. Well, besides all of that, hold on. Because this is not ever clearing the entities, is it? Like if I'm not hovering over anything, you know, it should be like a if other entity IDs is empty, then it should clear the hover selection rings. Let's try it like this, just to start, just to see if it actually like clears anything. So what type of project are you making in Godot, if you want to share? I'm making a pinball game in Godot on my own. This RTS project I'm making with some friends. It's a long-term project. It's already been going for more than 2 years, almost going on 3. Okay, let's play this now. You are blue. Three, two, one, go. Macro machine with planes, but not far in progress. I mean, I like that. I like that plan a lot. Is this the first game that you've been working on, or do you have a like experience with other stuff? And if you have a video or pictures or something that you might want to share, feel free to do so. I have to think more about game look to even make it fun. I thought it was better. Yeah, that's for sure like the most difficult part of the game. Currently on my pinball prototype, like I have the idea built in, but I'm having some trouble letting the player know what they need to do. So it's mostly a game feedback issue. So there are some rules that happen on the table, but I don't want to be like writing the rules, or I don't want to say them to the player specifically. They should be able to play the game and figure out by themselves. So the game should like give them some feedback about how the game is supposed to be played and currently isn't. So the experience that I've had so far is it's not a regular pinball game, okay? It's like a different take on pinball. But if I just like put people playing, they just assume that it's a regular pinball game, and they try to play normal, and nothing really happens because you need to do like specific stuff. So that's also an issue that I'm having. Let's see. Okay, so this guy's gonna be empty here. I mean, if this is gonna be empty, this guy should be also clearing all of these hide hover selections. Hide hover rings. Nothing to share yet. I have Python and Go knowledge, but game-wise, just build simple stuff like CLI Tetris. You'll get there. You'll get there. The first game that I ever built was like actually don't know if I have it here, but it was like in Java, where you had like a black screen, and then you had like some targets that would appear on the screen, and then they would get like smaller over time, and you needed to move the mouse and like click on them. Very, very fast ads running. Yep. Yeah, I'll wait for the ads to finish. It's 2 minutes. What will happen when new people join? Okay, we'll wait a little bit. So I have these hide hover rings. I also have these clear hover targets. Well, if I'm doing this, can I also call that one and call this one hide hover ring? Maybe this works. I don't know. Okay, 1 more minute for ads to finish, so we can continue our conversation. Okay, let's see if this fixed it. Oh, okay. So now it's partially working now, where it actually yeah, okay, it's working. Oh, you're not supposed to be able to select all of these guys. That's odd. Back. Hey, some form of support. Some form of support at watching. Thank you. Yeah, I was saying that the first game that I ever built was in Java, and it was like a black background, full screen black background, where then I would spawn like some circles that would start like fairly large, like this. So it kind of resembled like an aim target thing, you know, and I would spawn like a bunch of these around. Let me see if I can make these. So I would spawn like a bunch of them around, and then they would like slowly. Okay, can I do a transparent selection? Oh, the hell, what happened? The hell? What the hell is happening here? Okay. And then they would like slowly like become smaller and smaller. So you had like some time, like a little bit of time to like go and click the mouse. So you'd like be moving the mouse around and try to like click on them. And the larger they were, the more points it gave you. If you clicked like on the center, it would give you like some bonus points. If you clicked like on the outside, it would give less points. Yeah, and then they would spawn like randomly, and it would also like draw like a little tail around the mouse and all. But yeah, no graphics engine, no game engine, no nothing, just regular Java GUI drawing of shapes. Yeah, that was my first game. And then my first game was a Tetris one as well. I think it was also using Java. But then I started using actual PNGs for the blocks. So they were a little bit more pretty. But yeah, that was like, I don't know, 15 or 16 years ago. Okay, so this is kind of working sometimes. Is this gonna crash here? The hell? That's freaking odd. Okay. Okay, so it's still not working for my selection here. Nice. I like the target game. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I've made a bunch of like little games and all, but I've never actually released the game on my own. So I have this game here that I'm working with friends, obviously. And this is like a massive game that we've been working on. But yeah, we are trying to release this by probably in early access by the end of this year, and then to finish it on 2027. So it will be the first game that I actually put to sell. But my idea is also to try to sell the pinball game, you know. But yeah, the pinball game is still a prototype. I'm gonna show it to you. If you want to see it, that is. It's like very bare bones, so it doesn't look pretty at all. So it's this. This is the pinball game. And see, I even have like the pretty ball in there that reflects the environment and all of this. Yeah, I did model the flippers. I did model these guys on my own. And I mean, the objective of this game is you need to unlock the table as you go. So you need to score points, and with points you put the ball here on the shop, and then you exchange points with like unlocks. So you can say, oh, okay, I want to purchase this pop bumper group here. And then when the ball hits this pop bumper group, the ball actually gets like shot around, you know, as it is supposed to happen. And you'll also get some points. And the end goal is you need to unlock this guy right here at the top, which is going to cost 99,999. So you need to essentially unlock the entire table first and play it for a little while, just so you can unlock this guy here. And when you unlock this guy here and you put the ball through the 5 lanes, all the 5 lights light up and you win the game. Or the prototype, that is. I have some lore about what I want for the story. I have some ideas of what I want for visuals, but currently it's just a prototype. I'm mainly focusing on gameplay, making sure that the ball like feels heavy, like a regular pinball. And I mean, it's fairly fun to play, actually. GG, I lost one ball pretty much immediately. But yeah, it's fairly fun to play. But as you can see, I started the new game, like nothing actually works. Like the ball is hitting, like the pop bumpers, but it doesn't bump around. So you need to be playing here a little bit, just hitting the ball with the flippers. You can see like the score is going up a little bit as I hit the ball with them. You see 9 points, 10 points, 11 points. So if I now lift both flippers up, the shop opens, and now I'm in the shop mode. And you can see that these guys here are selected, they are red, but they cost 30 to unblock. I only have 12, so it's not worth it to me. But I can, for instance, unlock these guys here that cost 8 points, and whenever the ball hits them, I'm gonna get awarded 1 point. So I unlock those guys. Everything else is still unlocked. Sorry, still locked. So then I can release the ball and start playing. And now these guys work and give me like 1 point whenever the ball hits them. Yeah, so like this is the overall idea. So as you can see, like I already have like 30 points. Because then I also have like bonus points if I hit both in a quick succession and stuff. So yeah. Do you use Godot physics engine? No. This is using the... what's it called? This is using the other one. Jolt. It's using Jolt physics engine. Hello, Master Agent Miyazaki. But if you enjoy Godot, if you wanna like share ideas in Godot or see how I work with Godot, I mean, this is an invitation, but feel free to appear tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure like tomorrow and Friday I'll be working on the pinball game. Yeah, hello Master, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Okay, I wonder why my box selection, like my rectangular selection, is not doing anything. Oh boy. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? I mean, I'm pretty sure that I should be getting stuff from here. Manager selection system is selecting. So if I click the mouse and I start dragging it, oh, it didn't went to true. Oh, hold on. Do I even have... Am I even attached? I am attached. Oh. Okay, so something is obviously wrong. I thought that this is selecting thing would work with like the box selection thing, but it's not working. Return B is selecting. The hell? Okay, so the entire issue might just be this, actually. Return B is selecting. But I mean... Maybe because it was like hard-coded in the header file or something? I don't know. Just got off work, soon back into second work. Oof. Second work is not fun. Got wage garnishes due to old stupid debt from loans. So right now I'm moonlighting after work on some web dev contracts to have spare money. Yeah. Yeah, when we are young, we tend to like rack up loans and stuff. I have some family members that are also suffering from that. Fortunately, I've never went that route. Like, if I didn't have the money, I just wouldn't purchase. the thing. But yeah. Yeah, usually, well, not right now, because right now I'm just like Twitch streaming, and I'm actually earning money by developing this game, okay? But there was a point in time where I was actually working, and then enough. So I was working in game dev, and then at evenings I would work on more game dev in like separate projects and all. But yeah, I've actually always had like, not always, but I've mostly always had like a second paid gig where I would work like 2 hours a day or something from the house, from home. The fuck? Why is this not working, bro? What? Like, I really don't understand why this guy. So now obviously it's false. Obviously. But and selection. Somewhere is calling end selection. No. So it only calls end selection whenever I release. And B selecting is set to true. See, B is selecting is true. So if B is selecting is true, why the fuck is this is selecting returning false? The fuck? Like what? Why doesn't it enter here like ever? Do I have like two competing systems or something? That's freaky. I've had it for 1.5 years, got about 6-12 months left until it's gone. Also paying it off faster with the extra moonlighting money, so if I'm lucky I'm able to cut it by 6 months. That's good. I hope you are able to get rid of it soon. I, I don't know why this is not working. I don't know why this is not working. So if I click, is selecting is set to true. Okay, where the fuck is selecting getting set to false? Okay, I'm getting a call. Be right back. Hello, I'm back. Okay, let's try and figure out where the hell this guy is getting set to false, because it's annoying me as hell. It's really, really annoying me. So it's on end selection. Okay, hold on. See, like, so it's being set to true and it's never getting set to false, and it's still... I don't understand. I don't understand. So maybe I'm like returning the wrong thing somewhere. Selection subsystem. Oh. No, but I mean... I have no freaking idea what's going on, guys. Okay, so the only possible way for these to not enter here is that oh, it's this. It has the suppress thing. Never mind. Never mind. So if you were selecting, it was not ever entering there. Never mind, never mind. Okay, we'll quickly test if this works. If it does, which I think it will, I'm gonna end the stream right here. GG. Also, my new mouse just arrived, so everyone prepare to say goodbye to my old one. It's gonna be the last time we'll see it here. Okay, I better stop and start this. Okay, so something weird is happening where 07. True. Where sometimes it doesn't select these guys here, which I don't understand why. And it also doesn't clear them. Like, see, like, it's not selecting this guy here, ever. And if I do it like this, it does. If I do it like this, it does. If I do it like this, it doesn't. The fuck? I have the same issue in my custom marquee logic. However, I'm not sure if we are approaching the marquee the same way. Yeah, I don't know. What the fuck, bro? Okay, I feel like I'm doing something wrong with so here it selects those. Oh. So here it selects the three of them. Here it only selects two. It's freaking weird. This is freaking weird. Okay, in any case, I think I'm gonna end stream here. I'm tired. It has been a long day. Whenever I don't stream for like 1 week, like now, getting back into the groove, it's very, very tiring. In case you are using a box and checking what is in it, you could use Chaos Debug boxes to get a visual of your selection in World and see if it is expected. Chaos Debug boxes. No. The issue is that most of the things here, they don't exist. Like this guy right here is not an Unreal object. So Unreal doesn't know about this guy. So even if I can select it, nah. So we actually have like this grid right here, and whenever we select, we see which are the cells which the rectangle selection intersects, and we iterate over that grid, that BVH almost, and we see which entities are stored into those cells. But I think that I'm doing like something wrong here with the coordinates somewhere. No, you're not. I'm not using mass entities. We are not. Yeah, I will. I'll figure it out. I'll probably fix it off stream. Everyone, thank you very much for keeping me company. Was it not regular objects in PCG? No, I'm gonna show it to you. So the issue is that this needs to be like an incredible deterministic game, you know. So and because we'll have like 20 players and all of that, it was because it needs to be deterministic. Essentially, you can have like any float math anywhere. So that pretty much gets rid of all of possibility of using Unreal objects, because I mean the position is floats immediately, you know. And if you want to make it deterministic, you need to have like integer math pretty much everywhere. So what we do is we implemented an entity component system, and each building, each flag, each vehicle, each unit, each everything, it's an entity in this component system. And then we have several components that these entities can have. So we have a movement component, an health component, an animation component, a damage component, a projectile component, all of that. And we essentially manage all the physics ourselves. We essentially manage all the rendering ourselves, all the animation ourselves, everything ourselves. Because it needs to be deterministic, and we need to easily roll back all of this data, because it's like a multiplayer game with 20 players. Because we need an easy way to do all of this. Everything lives through the entity component system, completely detached from Unreal. Unreal doesn't know about the entity component system. It's not even a regular subsystem. It's like a thread that we are spawning by itself. And then we have subsystems which read from the ECS, and render uses the rendering systems from Unreal directly to show like the meshes. So yeah, Unreal is rendering these guys, but Unreal doesn't know about them. Like, they are not selectable, they're not anything. My approach should still work then. If you want to look at how I have set it up on my GitHub, and I can give you a quick rundown here. Maybe not today, if that's okay with you. Maybe not today. Pepsi Duo, thank you for the sub. How's it going? Hello, hello. Thank you for the free money. Hell yeah. You just got me about to leave. I was about to go away. But yeah, I think that I'm just passing like the wrong argument here because it's working for everything else. I mean, the selection works, okay? The selection works. Because we use it already for the game. This is just a preview for the while it's not finished selecting. So while I haven't released the button, because once I release the button, we do the rectangle calculation and everything works properly. So it's some wrong data that I'm passing while in this hovering state. That is wrong. So it should be like something fairly simple to figure out. Okay, now for real. Everyone, thank you very much for keeping me company. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for being you, you know? Yeah, I appreciate you all. I appreciate like the chat messages, the support, all of that. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow and Friday, I'm pretty sure that we'll be working on the pinball game. I kind of wanted to have like a release version last Friday, so I could like start sharing with people. It's mostly there. There are still like some things that I don't like about the game that I would like to improve. So I think that I'm gonna do it tomorrow and Friday, and then hopefully on Friday, if you guys are interested, you'll be able to join my Discord server, and I will directly share the prototype with you, as long as you don't share it like publicly, that is. Because I'm looking for feedback about the game feel, not graphics, not sounds, not anything. Just if the physics of the game are fun, and if you do understand the rules of the game, and if it's a fun experience overall. So stay tuned for that. Go into my Discord server, and I will tag everyone there whenever the prototype is ready to be tested by you guys. In any case, I'm gonna get going. I'll see you tomorrow, and once again, and as always, I appreciate you all. See ya.